Okay, wow, that was a
Wow.
little bit of a hangover on the black there, but I think that's about a year old from what I understand, but still pretty
Hmm.
powerful.
Well, I think it'll go down in history if he can carry those out as his agenda, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope he can. There's some elements in there that I really like, and I've got the tweet here that kind of breaks it down. So if we
Oh,
want to
cool.
talk about
Right.
any of them, we
Right.
can go through it. One I thought was really cool about moving the departments in different areas, which, for example, Department of Agriculture, if they moved it to Kansas, that would make a whole lot of sense. Or anywhere in the Midwest where you have, well, a lot of agriculture, for
Right.
example.
Right.
And
Well, there's plenty of places to put these people to, end the stranglehold of DC. And then people are calling for the decertification of the DC courts, which is a great idea. Anything to dismantle this 99.999% Marxist mini state of communism that is called DC, the District of Communism. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's not a state. Nobody knows what the hell it is.
why does
It's
they have electoral votes, for God's sake?
the whole thing is crazy. He's got to take a hammer and sickle and begin to dismantle it.
I totally agree. Hammer and sickles.
Yeah, well, use those tools out of the barn. Go in the
Yeah.
barn and get the hammer and sickle. See what happens. Maybe that'll work.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like the FISA courts. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He let me see. The number 9, I think, is really good too. This has been a deep concern for a while. Most obvious is military-industrial complex. We know about that, where these generals, colonels, whatever, they help get a contract with, say, Raytheon. Then they retire from the military, and they're not allowed to go work for Raytheon. So what do? They go into a think tank for like a year or two, or whatever it is, and then they jump right over to Raytheon. I think it needs to be more like 5 years. And then possibly maybe some restrictions, like if they worked a major contract with that particular corporation, then they shouldn't be able to get a job with that corporation, to try to push back on some of the payoffs.
You need a Bill of Rights just for lobbying. Let's just be blunt. I mean, you need some sort of redoing of the lobbying bills to see, to make sure that this is not abused any longer. I mean, it's completely crazy how this thing's gotten out of control.
Hey, the man of the hour who nailed the election.
Hey, what's up? What's up, dog? What's up, Jersey? Tip of the hat to your wife for hanging in there through this incredible run. It's funny. I am predicting that this, and I said this to Eric the other night, that this Seltzer woman out of Iowa will, when the dust settles, get a job as, and I'm just picking this out of my ass, dean of students at the University of Iowa, or head of their journalism school, as her payoff. She's now she's now using Trump voters as the excuse. Did you see this, Eric?
No. Okay, I'm sorry. That is my favorite piece of narcissism I have seen for a while. It is quite literally a humble brag.
Yeah.
What they're saying is, it's like, we're so important that we moved all of his voters. We motivate because we're powerful, we're important. So all those Trump voters said, oh my God, the Des Moines Register said this. We've got to completely change everything. It's disturbing.
Yeah, there's 2 media predictions that I wanted to make. One is that she will leave the Des Moines Register, or if she hasn't left it already, she will be given a job, because money is too easy to track. Jobs are their currency, and academia has been used in the past books don't cut it anymore. Nobody buys the book. The book doesn't cut it. Nobody gives a shit about that book. But for Michelle Obama, that level, yeah, nobody cares about this woman's book. But an academic job making $300,000 to $400,000 that she could ride out the rest of her life. She made a deal with the devil. I don't know what the deal with the devil is. She made a deal with the devil. That being said, I believe, and I'm going to make another prediction here, legacy media will go after to hire people who have entered the alternative media space and overpay to get them into legacy media. not going to name names. I'm predicting right now they will replace many of their own with people who have carved out spaces in alternative media who are willing to take that big paycheck. Also predicting, once again, the demise of the 3 late night talk show hosts. They can't continue any longer weeping on CBS, NBC, and ABC. I think they'll be gone by February, as I've said 6 months ago. And again, maybe there's a 10th number 10 in Trump's platform of a joint media oversight committee in the House and the Senate that I've talked about for a long time.
I think something like that could be coming. I mean, he released something else earlier. I didn't get far into it, but he was talking about, essentially pushing free speech and shutting down any kind of restrictions, things like that. Oh, hold on. Rich just said that's already in the works. He hears from one pollster. So,
thank you. Thank you.
Now, I want to point out, though, there are some people who may not be invited into legacy media, but they probably want to be. People like David Pac-Man here. Now, you're not familiar with these guys. They're very big channels, though. They're all on the left. And this is what's happening. I think you'll enjoy it.
When I woke up this morning, we had lost 5,000 YouTube subscribers compared to where we were last night. Now, the first thing I thought was, is this a glitch? We've been on YouTube for 15 years or something like that.
Wow.
And subscribers always just go up. They just never go down. They go up. Is something wrong with my channel? Is someone attacking my channel? What's going on?
I'm doing it personally.
So I started texting.
Okay. You didn't text me,
Brian
bro.
Tyler Cohen.
Who?
And I texted Tyler Cohen and
His
Brian
father?
Cohen and Brian Tyler. All
Or just anyone named Cohen?
I texted Jesse Dollemore.
No.
I texted Luke Beasley and Farron
Beasley?
Cousins and Sam Cedar.
Cedar?
And
He's still alive,
every
Sam
single
Cedar?
one of our channels.
Dude, these are all the largest lefty channels out there with millions of subs on each.
Right
This
on.
guy here, I think, has 3.5 million.
Since last night is hemorrhaging subscribers.
They're all hemorrhaging.
What is it that is going on? Here is a graphic. As you can see, subscribers just go up, 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 and they are down. It is not just YouTube subscribers. We are seeing record cancellations of paid memberships. Record cancellations.
You didn't
These
deliver.
are the people that keep the show running.
Not anymore. Not
Now,
anymore, Pac-Man.
for a moment, I thought, if it's just YouTube, maybe YouTube is purging people who are inactive subscribers. And once a year, usually YouTube does this, and you see a little decline.
All right, essentially, it goes on a bit. It's fun to watch. I got to confess.
Yeah,
but we got
that's
to talk
nice.
about other things.
I've never
But
heard of this guy, but that's great.
yeah, David Pac-Man, Sam Cedar. Anyway, they all have millions of subs. Brian Taylor Cohen is who he was saying in 5 different ways.
Yeah.
And it's great. And what's happened is, because he's like, I don't know, why are people leaving just because we lost? Nate's doing an entire, crybaby stream for them. And the truth is, people are pushing back and saying, you lied to us.
Yeah.
You lied to us. You said that she had it in the bag, that there was nothing to worry about. It was all perfect.
Right.
And I'm super happy, Mark, because one of my hopes, we talked about it, was that because there were enough people out there saying, Trump's looking really strong, there's a lot going on here, that there'd be less violence. And I think so far it has played out. That while they're crying online and screaming and saying they want to be feral dogs and things like that, they're not burning things down. They're not on the street. They're just sitting home depressed, which I'm good with.
Well, I have 2 takes on that. One, this was a feminine election with driven by girls, and girls are not necessarily out in the streets burning and looting after an election. Number 2, I predict you will see burning and looting once the inauguration week comes. So those are my 2 takes on that idea. This is not a male-driven election. This is females. Females usually inflict harm upon themselves, aka cutting, and I mean cutting of skin. That's a female trait, something like 90% female, 10% male. But they are visually, and this is obviously anecdotal, they're cutting their hair on YouTube, making hair cutting videos. And I'm sure many of them, as Halpern said and Dr. Drew said, there's going to be enormous psychological damage. Harvard and Princeton today giving them the day off. Many schools giving them milk and cookies now This is a mental health breakdown of the left, driven by the mental health of women. That's usually sketchy or weaker to begin with, but they are cutters more than men, and I believe they will inflict bodily harm to themselves. Men tend to lash out and go outward, and women tend to go inward.
I'm going to push back a little bit though, because
no, don't bother, because it's really
there's plenty of beta males on that side that will also do this, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. That's not even a pushback. That's a given. But it's an 80%, 70% female-driven election on her side. And look, maybe Sotomayor will step down. Who knows?
Well, by the way, that I forgot about that. So that's a major deal. Now Clarence Thomas can retire. It's getting up there, and can withstand or maintain the conservative court as it stands. So that is a very good news, because I don't know how much longer these guys have. And
well, if you're going to go, now's the time to go.
Oh, you've got to. You can't do the Ruth Bader Ginsburg thing.
Right, or the Ruth Payne thing. If I'm elected, I will serve until the afterlife, Eric. I don't care. I could be a justice in the afterlife.
Well, she's still here, so
I know.
I can't argue with her.
I take that back. She's still here. That's
bad example.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong. But that being said, I think Sotomayor has diabetes or something, or
and she's been complaining a lot. So yeah, she might actually be a pickup. Especially, so can you imagine that 7 or up to 7
to 2, up to 7,
up to 7, because they're Amy Coney Barrett is kind of like
6.5.
Yeah, so well, and then Roberts, but either way. Oh, who was very happy about the election results? This clip went around earlier. I thought it was funny.
Oh, this guy.
Will say, look, man, I was rooting for Trump last night as much as anybody in this country.
Not
as
exactly.
much as Tony Hinchcliffe.
Okay,
yeah.
Second most. Second to Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Touche.
More Puerto Ricans voted for Trump than ever by up 26%. He was
well, but wasn't it?
This was one of the most reluctant endorsers
one of
Trump I've ever seen. This guy Smith was like at the last minute saying, I find him despicable. I don't agree with anything he says, but between the two of them, I'm going to endorse Trump. I think he did it a moment before Rogan.
I was going to say he still beat Rogan.
He beat Rogan by a week. No doubt about it. And then the second he endorsed him, he then started criticizing him. There was another comic on his show, and even the comic who was his guest was scratching his head going, bro, I mean, it's enough already.
Oh, I know, but I thought that was funny about Tony Hinchcliffe, because I can see that it's like, look, Puerto Rican still voted. Look, leave me alone.
Well, Sotomayor is Puerto Rican, don't forget. So she has an axe to grind.
Okay. Fair enough. While we are on that, let's talk about people who do have an axe to grind. We're slowly collecting the list, and I'm lazy.
Somebody put an app together, Eric. I haven't seen it, but there's an app of celebrities who vowed to leave the United States if Trump was elected.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to get back on that one. To make my life easy, I just went to Grok and did a query on it. And so Grok gave me a list of celebrities and notable people who have indicated they would leave the United States if Donald Trump won the 2024 election. I did want to specify because he's had a lot of it before. So we have on here Alec Baldwin. We can never not have Alec Baldwin somehow tied to our channel, it appears.
Right, that is true, yeah.
Whoopi
I hope
Goldberg.
Amy Schumer doesn't leave. Lady Gaga, who cares? Taylor Swift, who cares?
Yeah, but wasn't Whoopi Goldberg on the air yesterday? Today, it's like, Whoopi, you need to be gone.
You completely forgot about it. Well, it's the weed connection. She's not going to get good weed in Canada.
That's true. I got John Legend, Chrissy Teigen.
Cortez has to stay. She's an elected representative.
Yeah,
I know. Of the Bronx.
That.
Where is she going to go?
I don't know. Hopefully to hell. Bill Gates. Right. Sharon. So I love seeing that Tom Hanks is on here. There's a guy who was supposedly kind of.
Yeah, you didn't think Tom Hanks would be on there, did you?
I really didn't, actually. Even though there's lots of suspect things about him and accusations going around, not to mention the very possible comfort with the deep state in terms of parts. But there you go. Megan Rapinoe.
Is America Ferrara on there, or
I don't see her
because she's what somebody pointed out to me was a lot of these people have homes in other countries like London where they're going to go. Like this America Ferrara is going to the UK where she has a place anyway.
Johnny Depp, probably.
These are all high class problems that these people have. You know, they're just going to stay there until the dust dies down. She's one of them. So I don't know. I mean, are they really leaving, or are they going to be back later? You know?
I mean, I want to encourage them to leave. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable here in any way.
Right.
Whatsoever.
They should definitely leave and have to apply to get back in, like some of the people are going to be deported. Now, that being said, I mean, there's going to be pushback against this mass deportation. I hope he doesn't buckle, Eric, and begin to cave.
I hope not either. Did you see the former ICE director, might have been under or whatever? They were interviewing him on 60 Minutes, and his response is funny because the woman's like, you know, well, it's going to cost a lot of money. He said, how much do we pay on security?
Yeah.
Do we have security? And she goes, well, how can you keep families from being broken apart? We can deport them together.
Yes, everybody goes together. Put everybody.
That was so funny. He
Yeah.
answered with that. He's like, we can deport the families together.
Well, the woman in Massachusetts, the governor there said she's going to fight. Murphy in New Jersey said he's going to fight to the death, even though the state almost went for Trump. Thereby, 50% of his state residents oppose the governor. But he said he's going to fight to the death against Trump. I hope he sticks to his guns on that and fights to the death.
I hope so too. And I hope, by the way, I hope he's realigning the Secret Service immediately and quadrupling his protection, because what he's talking about now with Elon Musk and Ron Paul, of all people, is the most dangerous thing I've heard him propose, even more than his list.
This guy won't go. I mean, this guy says.
Guess what? He doesn't have to.
Well, that's what he says.
That's actually the fact.
It's not a fact. It's quite disputed. It's because the Paul people say it's unconstitutional to have a Fed anyway. So it's not a fact. It's not a fact.
But Trump doesn't have the rights. The key thing is that with Congress, Trump can hopefully get Congress to disband the Fed. That's how you get rid of
it. If you listen to Ron and Rand Paul have consistently said for years, there is no constitutional right for the existence of the Federal Reserve. So, I mean, you have to fight that battle first.
Right. But the group who can get rid of the Fed directly is Congress.
Right, but I mean, they legally don't exist. I know this sounds philosophical, but legally they don't exist. There's no legality for their existence. It's almost like I want to say the closest thing I could think of is the International Court in The Hague. It's there, but it has no power. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird things. Now, this guy claims he can't be fired from an organization.
As well as Greenspan.
This is all that has to be resolved. Now, if this Massachusetts governor says that she's going to block the Fed from deporting illegal aliens, to me, that's obstruction of justice. She has to be physically arrested. The governor of Massachusetts, if she tries, she's already ordered their state police. Keep this in mind. This is a small sample size, but she's already ordered the head of their state police to block the federal government from seizing illegal aliens in the state of Massachusetts. Great. I call that a exact example of obstruction of justice, Eric.
It's going to be an interesting showdown. We've already seen it happen. There is precedent. Did JFK not just take over the National Guard and say, here you go? I mean, can't Trump do the same thing?
Well, he's citing Eisenhower, actually, as the guy who did it the most. Trump has cited Eisenhower. So,
but both of them, right? I mean, so he theoretically said, take over the National Guard, just walk in there. And...
I think he's referring to the Eisenhower deportation system. But yeah, I mean, if she feels that in her elected position she has to block federal law, then it's obstruction of justice. Let her sit in prison. Let her honor her commitment in federal prison. That's and the same with Murphy, and especially in California, where it looks like the whole state's gone red. If you look at that map from 2020 to 2024, I mean, holy crap!
Well, remember, it was their attorney general who was running. You knew better. Of course, you're like,
well, there's a guy.
We know this bitch. We got I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a guy that was just appointed LAPD chief. Wait till you see this guy. I mean, this is a guy that I personally know, who I helped campaign for years ago to become sheriff. He's been picked, and he's a conservative. Yes, if you have Hochman and this new chief of police, holy crap, has that changed the face of Los Angeles?
Well, who picked him?
Karen Bass.
Was she on drugs? Did somebody hold a gun to her
she's
head?
moving to the middle, and she wants to say to this law enforcement official, you're in charge of the Olympics. I wash my hands of homelessness, Olympics.
Okay, I get it. Okay. So
that
she's doing the Newsom she cleanup.
Yeah. But I mean, giving him the position, holy crap. I didn't even know he was in the running. She had an interim chief of police for 6 months. 2 days after the election, she has selected this guy to be the chief of police. And he's not even from the police department. He was in LAPD for many years ago. So it's not like he doesn't know the job. But holy crap. This guy's name is Jim McDonald, for those who want to look him up. Great guy. I've had discussions with him. I'm just in shock that I know the chief of police again, because I am nobody. And I had a great relationship with Bill Bratton, who I interviewed and knew in New York and knew in LA. So now I know this guy. Very strange. Very strange.
Hey, good deal.
Yeah.
So now I know you're hopeful.
And Hochman. I mean, I know
Hochman's been in here.
Nathan Hochman is now going to replace Gascon in Los Angeles. Holy crap. You talk about consequences for elections.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you're seeing ripple effects, I think, everywhere.
Yeah.
I've even heard, I haven't, that Hamas is suddenly talking about getting to the table really quickly and calling for peace.
I thought it was odd that they were wearing yarmulkes at the negotiating table. Call me crazy, but that was weird. I mean, Zelensky sent a GoFundMe money to Putin now. I mean, you talk about reaching out across the aisle. Holy shit.
Now, I think Medvedev had been mouthing off a little bit, though, essentially threatening
what
assassination
happens.
If
you
Trump
know what
were
happens
to
at the end.
something.
At the end, what happened? The Russians are going to go hog wild in the final days, which happens in every war. Right before there, as I predicted, Trump will ask for a ceasefire until he is inaugurated, which I believe will be a DMZ of multilateral troops, and I think that will happen pretty quickly.
Well, good. And, I look at all this, and I'm glad that he has this team of rivals around him. Bobby Kennedy, I don't know if you saw that the 5 big pharma CEOs
committed suicide, committed harry-carry?
Not yet, but they did have an emergency meeting.
Everything's an emergency all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, the beautiful thing is that he's not softening his message, and neither is Bobby, neither is Musk. They're coming in saying, okay, we got the mandate now. Damn it, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And they're not slowing down. And I'm going,
well, this Wiley chick, I believe that Wiley's days are numbered, the chief of staff. I believe she will be relieved of command. This is going to be a transition chief of staff position for her. I think she's toast. Her connection to Big Pharma has now been exposed. She's 69 years old. She's a grandmother. I mean, it's the craziest pic I've ever seen in my life. And when RFK got wind of it, his head exploded. I think she'll stay on as chief of staff until he's inaugurated and then be replaced. In my opinion, it's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she was a lobbyist for Big Pharma, Eric. I mean, you want to drive a stake into RFK on day one? That's the way you do it. Just say, you know what? I've just picked the lobbyist for Big Pharma to be my chief of staff. Give me a break.
All right, good time.
Yeah.
So he's
I'm just telling you, bro.
So what you're telling me, Mark, and it's by the way,
he still has a broken picker. Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Hiring ability.
Yes, he still has an Achilles heel when it comes to hiring people.
Oh God! So
some things never change.
So he needs to depend on his team of rivals a
Yes.
bit more to
Yes.
get
Well,
these
look how
picks in.
quickly he picked her. She was his campaign manager. He picked her in 5 seconds. Everyone went, whoa, 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 bro. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
Wow.
Yeah, she's done. She's done.
Oh, God. That means we're going to probably get more and more headaches.
Oh, no. Eric, he's older now. I mean, keep in mind, it's the same guy, and we love him, but he's older, and he's, maybe more set in his ways in a lot of ways.
Well, sometimes people who are older can be more receptive. I don't know. But, okay, you know what? I need to have a moment and share this, which I vastly enjoy.
Oh, no.
My girl just lost a day ago. Like, damn.
Motherfucker. Paint that face or get them teeth. That's funny. That's funny.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
What'd you make of that Letitia James press conference with
Ooh,
that draconian
man.
backdrop like it was something out of Orwell? I mean, first of all, why does she have to have a press conference? I mean, I don't understand what is going. She's the Attorney General of the state of New York. She's not the governor of New York. She's not the mayor, and she's not anything.
She's trying to be new governor. It wasn't Hochul the Attorney General before?
Right, but I'm saying, what justifies a press conference after an election?
Oh, Nate
She's
is
the only Attorney General in the country that had a press conference, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, I know, but she also ran on it. But I think it's just her, flashing her teeth because she's scared.
Well, Trump's attorney said we're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent. We will dig up whoever this guy is. This is the only guy I've seen who's got a set of balls on him. And I know the new administration is only a few days old, as in a /elect administration. But good for him to go after her aggressively like that.
So who is it? He's the new Attorney General then, or
no? He is one of Trump's attorneys, not Attorney General.
I was going to say, yeah. I'm curious who's going to be.
He is a candidate for Attorney General.
Well, maybe he's showing right now that he can be the hammer.
Dude, this guy seems like the hammer and sickle, bro. He's going after hooks and tongs. You got to but who weeps? Who weeps for Alan Lichtman? Who weeps for the Nostra dumbass of polling?
Hey, I made sure that I thought about him and tweeted the day after that it appears he locked his keys in the car.
Oh, my God. They call him the Nostradamus of polling. I call him the Nostra dumbass of Poland because this guy, that's my new name for this guy.
Oh, yeah. No, it's deeply, deeply satisfying to see that. And
he was having a meltdown in real time.
He was on. He watches.
He was on a channel.
They're not working.
Yeah.
Alert.
Alert.
They're not adding up. And his son's kind of going, yeah, Dad,
that was his son? I didn't know who that was.
That's his son. Yeah, Dad. I don't think it's going to get it. And yeah, somebody did they do a wellness check on him? I think he
alert.
Well,
I mailed him one of those blue kits that you sell on the channel. I hope that.
Oh, good.
Hope it got to him. I said,
good.
Emergency blue wellness kit.
Oh yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, thank you very much for reminding me because
that was kind of a low key.
We do have a sponsor. It's not the wellness company though.
Plot twist.
There you go. It's not the wellness company though. And
we got somebody else this week.
Yes, we do. We've had him once before. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made and I was shocked. He's in his 80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger, her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/untold or by clicking the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/untold and click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than me. Discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply by focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below, chuckdefense.com/untold.
You know, they
And it's
superimposed with
terrific.
AI his head on my body, which I'm really upset about. I mean, I like the system that they have, but I don't think I ever approved that. But good luck.
All right. I like Dragon Book here. Chuck Norris is not doing push-ups. He's moving the Earth away from an approaching asteroid.
Right on, Norris.
There's so many memes about Chuck Norris being
Right.
a badass.
Now, what about Jack Smith? Think about a badass named Jack Smith who
Very bad.
I believe that they should be forced to play their hand out and play it out. I don't believe this cut and running thing. I want all of these things to be brought to their conclusion, not cut and run, Eric. I want Smith to play it out. I want this Marchand to play it out. I don't want them to disappear into the night without any resolution, like nothing happened and disappear, Eric.
Interesting point.
That's I know it's a controversial point.
Well, Mikey said just open Gitmo for him.
Right, which may be the ultimate thing at the end. Right, that might be at the end game. I'm not saying that's not the end game, but I don't want the guy to disappear in the middle of the night like nothing happened and just drop all charges as if there was nothing going on and it was merely political, which it was. But if they believe that there's gravitas to these charges, let's get it on. Let's play the whole game out, bro. Let's take it so it never effing happens again. Don't let these people cut and run. I know this sounds crazy, but I want Marchand and Trump to deal with each other on November 26th. This date in infamy is still on the books, Eric. You know, he's got to show up and do something on the 26th. I don't want Marchand to say, oh, I got scared, I'm not going to do it. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit. Let's get this over with. Let's do it by the book. If you really believe this, let's go.
What do you think is happening? Because, I mean, everybody's all over the map. Nate's idea, and his isn't bad either. He's saying that Marchand's just going to say, oh, it's $100,000 fine and close it.
Okay.
Drop a fine or
I would say I'm opposed to that. I want justice. I want justice.
Well, what do you want? Which justice? You want him to say convict him and lock him up?
No, I want every freaking felony count reversed. I don't want to pay $100,000 for a felony count. I don't want, and I want to go after that. What's her face?
Jean Carroll.
Jane Carroll, I want justice there, methodically, inch by inch by inch. This has to be reversed legally, not disappear, not beg for mercy, not have a guy reduce the charges. Bullshit. This has to be completely reversed, and then there's got to be justice going in the other direction. This guy's got to be removed from the bench. Then he's got to be incarcerated. The charges can be brought by the attorney general, whoever that is. That's up to him.
Well, there's one place we could start right now.
Where?
Tim Pool suggested this. Merrick Garland.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lock up Merrick Garland for 4 months.
Absolutely.
Starting immediately, because he was held in contempt of Congress. Bannon was contempt of Congress. Same crime.
Yep.
Then how about the same result?
Right. You know what? You tell him to show up to Congress, and he figures, I better show up, right? Then you lock the door. He can't get in, right? And you go, you never showed up, bro. We were there all day. You didn't come in. We never saw you. You're going right to federal prison. Now, there's got to be incarcerations, Eric. There's got to be incarcerations. The American people are not going to settle for anything less. I'll tell you that right now, that what I'm seeing on Twitter, what I'm seeing that's in social media, people want justice. And if you want to call justice revenge, you could call it whatever you want. But this turning the other cheek bullshit has got to end now. They'll do it again in 4 years. They'll do it again. You have to drive the stake into the heart of the vampire, or I think, what do you have to kill him with a silver bullet if it's the Wolfman, Hunley?
Yeah, silver bullet for wolves.
Stake for the vampire, and whatever the rules are for these cats. But you have to play the whole thing out before you get into rebuilding America. You got to deal with this. You know, Jonathan Gross has been on Twitter. He picked up 12 new January 6th defendants this week alone. 12. You got 6.
I hope Trump ends that, ASAP when he gets in, because he can't. One blanket stroke,
Well, it's good. I mean, unless people hold his feet to the flames, these things tend to disappear. Not only do they
Chuck
have
Norris
to,
wouldn't put up with this BS.
Chuck Norris would never put up with this bullshit. And not only do they have to be freed, they have to be part of a class action, multi-zillion-dollar lawsuit against the federal government. And the money should come out of the DNC, not the federal government and our tax money. That's where it should come out of.
Well, and maybe that's it too. We need to look at the immunity of Congress people and stuff, because I would like them to go after the Schiffs personally.
Yep.
Go after the Cheneys personally. The ones who manipulated things that they hid footage, did not let footage go out. How about going after Pelosi for not completing her job, which she admitted on film to her daughter?
How about freeing the Hammer gay attacker who was with her husband doing gay things, and now he's sentenced to, what did he get, Eric? What was the sentence?
Life without parole.
Just like the Menendez brothers. This guy with a hammer and a dream was in the Pelosi house, a hammer and a sickle, gets life without parole. The guy's not even injured. This serial drunk driving Pelosi, the guy who comes into his house, gets life without parole. It's insane. Put him on the list of pardons. I got to write his name down. Gay hammer guy. All right, now what's going on with this Kerry Lake case? Because this is driving me freaking nuts. I don't know. These dead voter lists that they're sitting on in Maricopa County, they're at 67%. There's still another 33%.
I thought they were at 70 something.
Well, I don't know what time the show started, so maybe you're right, and that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Right. No, I know.
I'm just trying to say, after 4 days, only 3/4 of the ballots, and Gallego keeps picking up votes. And look, I don't know if fentanyl is an actual vote. You can't just mail in fentanyl and say I voted for Gallego. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I
thought she'd been closing the gap this whole time, because he was up way up.
Philadelphia, they passed a law in 2022 in Pennsylvania that said once you start counting the ballots, you can't stop, because that's when the corruption occurs. That's when they have to bring in the extra ballots. Once the stupid red counties turn in their final tally, as we discussed on the show the other night, she's whittled it down to 36,000. Okay. The fact of the matter is Gallego now has more votes than Kamala Harris. I mean, think about that anomaly, Hunley.
Well,
the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party has more votes in the state of Arizona than the guy, the drug cartel's son, Vladimir Gallego.
I mean, maybe. I mean, the reverse has happened with splitting the vote in North Carolina, where the governor got so few because there were problems with him. So I mean, it's possible. She's a shit candidate. A ton of people crossed over to Trump who are voting Democrats. We even saw it here.
I don't know that, because the Trump counting is done, and last I looked, the ballot had everyone's name on it. I don't understand how you can't count you can count the ballot for Trump, but you can't count the vote for Kerry Lake, whatever the vote is. Is it somewhere else? That is a good question. Where?
No. I mean, do they have 100% of the votes in Arizona for Trump, or was his lead so vast that they're saying, yeah, she can't do it? There's just not enough math to pull it off.
She's at 67 to 71%, and the Trump counting is done. So the odd thing here is that not only is this happening there, it's also happening in a place called Wisconsin, and it's also happening in a place called Michigan. All three of those states seemingly have the same exact formula. And I believe all three, and if you had Pennsylvania, it might have been 4. And if Mark Elias has his way in the Pennsylvania court system, it may be all 4, Eric.
Okay, I just want to be clear. I didn't know. I mean, if 100% of the votes have been counted for Trump and they're not, the same ballots are not counted, that is very odd.
Let me tell you, let me just give you the numbers out of Milwaukee. Getting back to the Senate race out of Wisconsin, the numbers out of Ward 16, just take Ward 16 out of Milwaukee, 101.2% Democratic vote, not 89, not 92, 101.3. Okay, that's Ward 16. Ward 9, 101% for the Democratic Senate candidate out of Wisconsin. Let's go to Ward 101% Democratic vote in Ward 5. Now, this cannot be allowed to stand. No matter what side you're on, you can't have more than 100% voting out of wards in Milwaukee for a particular Democratic Senate candidate.
I totally agree. And I do think that
what do you do?
Among the first things, election fortification, revitalizing, not revitalizing, but renovating, whatever, fixing the election system should be in the top priorities. And it's got to be done now, because in 2026, we've got another one coming and we need this crap fixed immediately.
Okay, what they did, in my humble opinion, this is just a broad stroke, is they didn't want Trump coming after them with a hammer and sickle. So they stole the Senate races using the same dead voter list that I discussed with Viva and you the other night, and on Viva's show, and what I've been talking about for years. They waited till the presidential election was over. They used their own laws. In the state of Arizona, you can count for 13 days. Pennsylvania, you can't. That's against the law. They've broken the law in Philadelphia. That's been established. They violated the law, which was 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday night. No more counting. Philadelphia said, F you, we're going to continue to count. Okay, so that's a law violation. California has 3 weeks to dig up votes to take those congressional seats back, Eric, in California. That's intentional. Those laws were intentionally put in place. Florida
Lake has more votes than Harris now, too.
Okay, well, this is insane. This is totally insane. Is that another ballot where she was just on a separate ballot? Anyway, the fact of the matter is Florida is the model for counting. The others are aberrationally been changed legally to give them the wiggle room to do what they're doing right now. You have to go after them now, not 2028, not 2032, right now. These have to be drilled down January 20th with your attorney general. Get in there as a federal oversight and rip it to shreds. Get people, get people under oath. Trump has said that if you,
but that's why I'm saying you got to do it day one. I mean, immediately, because other elections coming down the line. You got to fix this,
right? But you got to solve this election now. This is now.
Solve it all.
They have to be incarcerated now.
Yes.
The way to stop it from happening is not continuing to change the election law. It's to incarcerate the people who are doing this. Changing it, they're going to come up with another system, Eric. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'd say both. Both incarcerate and fix the system as much as possible to make it.
I'm writing this down on my list. Incarcerate and fix. Fix and incarcerate, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Jail and hail. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, you got that. Now, let me talk about for a second this guy, Mike Pompeo, this scum of the earth. Again, he is floating him out there for Secretary of State.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely true, my friend. I am telling you, he's got a broken picker. Mike Pompeo is the equivalent of John Bolton. Okay, that's who Mike Pompeo is. He's John Bolton. RFK Jr. outed Pompeo as one of the completely deep state operatives, CIA, everything everything you can imagine. The fact that his name is even being bandied around shows you the tentacles of the deep state already into this administration.
Yeah, but it's an insult to the intelligence. At least have somebody that we don't know, like somebody who's a little bit deeper down, a little there. It's like, I didn't realize they were deep state, or, I thought they were out of it years ago. Not the same damn guy who said, don't share the JFK files. Don't share those. That same dude. That's
the same dude who said Mar-a-Lago was legit because Trump had taken these documents illegally. Same guy, Mike Pompeo, who turned on him in Mar-a-Lago. That's the guy you want name. I mean, you should come out day one and simply say, Mike Pompeo's name is not on any list of my short list for any administration jobs. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Oh, and by the way, his clearance has been revoked too.
Who?
No, I'd add
Yeah.
that too.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
only
yeah.
is he not on any list,
Oh, yeah.
but he has no security clearance, along
Absolutely.
with the 51 other freaking intelligence people on the Hunter laptop story. So guess what? If they don't have a security clearance, they have no value to all the networks.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go draconian this time. I mean, this stuff cannot be allowed to linger. I mean, these jobs are super important, and they're allowing the enemy within the gates, and they can't be allowed back in the gates ever again. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I mean, you really got to go outside the beltway to make these picks, Eric.
Well, maybe he'll listen to Don Jr. Apparently, Don Jr.'s audience was hammering him.
Good.
And Don Jr. is partially responsible, or very much responsible, for J.D. Vance. So, that's a great approach. Get to the family, get to whatever, get to anybody he'll hopefully listen to. My God.
It's just shocking that this thing has legs.
And I know that he has a habit of, if somebody kisses his ass hard enough and they love him enough and show him all the ways,
I told you the night I listened to him with Rogan, at the end, he just kept saying Mike Pompeo is good people. I literally jumped out of my bed listening to this that night. He goes, everyone agrees Mike Pompeo is a good person. Everyone. And I'm going like, I don't think there's anybody on the earth who thinks he's a good person. God, even his mother hates his guts.
And she's dead.
Yeah, that's Debbie Pompeo in the afterlife. She's been dead for years. I mean,
oh my God.
I mean, the point of the matter is, you need RFK to be involved in the file openings or the JFK files and other deep state nefarious activities. Mike Pompeo is going to cock block any move by RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Good people. It's unbelievable.
Well, hopefully, don't know. Hopefully he keeps listening to Bobby Kennedy, but he could just go, and do whatever.
It seems to be his style. It seems to be his style. All right. So you got that story. I think John Cusack melted down. He said the fact that the country would choose to destroy itself by voting in a convicted felon rapist and a Nazi is a sign of deep nihilism, to put it mildly. Cusack wrote on his since deleted X post that John Cusack is completely insane, by the way.
Well, yeah, that's normal. I can imagine Stephen King's probably written a couple of horror novels and tweets already for it. A bunch of characters. I want to point out too, we've talked a lot about, Trump's kids and people taking over in the future. I think a lot of people are overlooking young Barron.
Ooh.
Who really showed his bones. He's not even of drinking age.
What is he, 19 or something? How old
that's what I'm saying. He's not even drinking age. And he has been a major force putting Trump on all the different podcasts and getting Trump to listen to him. I guess that somebody said to Trump, you've got to do podcasts or whatever. And he's like, here, you find stuff to Barron. And then Barron did. Put them together.
I don't know about Barron. We're not going to hear from Barron for a while because he's going to go to college for 4 years. So, but the kids, the boys are Eric and Don Jr. are major players. You're correct.
Absolutely.
As for these other people, I don't understand it. But I just want to give a shout out to everyone who came to the meetup the other night, and the final victors, the ones who got the free champagne and the drinks, who survived. I mean, that was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Gonzalez actually is here.
Yeah, he had that was great with Al, former New York intelligence police officer, intel unit. Hotel was great, champagne toast. Yeah, the whole thing was great at the end. Look, there were a lot more people there earlier, but people had to go to bed after a while. But those guys hunkered down and stayed in there straight through to the end.
I've got to give you credit. Okay, because I was sitting there going, he has backed his ass into a serious financial hole here, and what he came up with the drinks. And I'm just kind of laughing my ass off going, oh boy, this guy. And then you roll in with the case of champagne.
That's right, Negro. That's right.
I'm like,
so that was nothing.
I never saw that one coming. And I was like, that's brilliant. I mean, that really was truly brilliant, because you did give a drink to everyone. It was champagne, which is celebratory. And perfect.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
bar was long closed anyway. I mean, the point of the matter was it was celebratory, it was champagne, and we brought in the champagne glasses. It was much better. It was an easier way to do it than just random people getting random drinks.
and perfect foresight too, because if you lost all the battleground states, nobody'd want to drink champagne.
Anyway, you know, but
so it was dead on.
Yeah,
it
worked out perfectly. And you know, I did spend some money on it, so it is fine. I don't mind. I mean, it was.
I know, but you came up with the way to make it where.
I had to come up with.
It didn't financially cripple you. With the number of people we had, he'd be thousands in the hole, and I'm not kidding. With all 7 swept.
Yeah, that didn't happen for a long time. So I mean, you know, I kind of figured that out. But we had a couple of them that were called around that time, right? Wasn't there 1 or 2?
It's like
North Carolina and Georgia or something.
Yeah, 11-ish. They finally called North Carolina. They lingered on Georgia, and not everybody called it, but you were like, "Oh, hell with it," and you were like, "Yeah, get
I just said the hell with it."
I don't think he wanted to carry the champagne home.
No, of course not. It was a waste of time.
I got to get rid of this stuff.
I would have broken it out anyway.
Oh God!
You know, plus I saw the Dodgers clinching, Trump wins. I mean, I can't keep winning like this. It's just too much winning. I'm getting sick and tired of winning. I'm going to go buy some lottery tickets because I'm on a roll here, Hunley.
Well, speaking of that, I told Nate to bet $100 for me that Trump is going to win both the electoral and popular vote, and he made some money.
Oh, good.
So
I made another stupid bet. I guaranteed someone that they would go to Tokyo for opening day if Trump won. Now I got to buy Dodger tickets for the Tokyo games on March 31st.
Oh, wow.
Now I got to go to Japan. It never ends, Hunley. You don't understand.
Are you going to go to Japan?
Of course. I'm going to Japan now.
Wow. Okay.
Opening day.
All right. That's going to be crazy stuff.
They're playing the Cubs, by the way, in case people are wondering. It's two games in Japan and then Tokyo's dome, and then they fly back to the United States. But there are 2 official games.
By the way, another individual of note, I guess, I won't say celebrity, no real notoriety on their own, but another person leaving the country, of course, is Elon Musk's estranged trans daughter.
That's a weird one.
But I have an appreciation for his trans daughter.
Yeah, she's honoring her commitments.
Oh, that and we would not have had Elon Musk buying X. We would not have had Elon Musk going to Trump. We wouldn't have had any of this, I think, without that trans daughter.
Oh, that's a good point.
In his mind,
that's a good point.
His son was killed.
Yeah, that's what he said, right? Didn't he use?
Yeah, well, I mean, he used the term dead naming for a reason, right? Yeah. So technically speaking, using their own language, that's his daughter and the son that no longer exists.
I made another commitment I have to honor now. I have to go to Viva's daughter's play at school tomorrow. This is going to kill me.
I don't know.
This one's really going to kill me, so I got to do that tomorrow night.
Wow.
I honor my commitments, Hunley. That's the point of this whole show. I honor my commitments.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I do have that clip that I was talking about earlier.
Which one?
Hold on. This guy here, the former ICE director. I just love his delivery.
Oh, this guy, yeah, he's always on.
His delivery is so great.
Yeah.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
We have seen one estimate.
His delivery was just perfect.
Perfect.
So dead on. Yeah, but of course there is.
Well, this is going to be a war at the shore because they're gonna try to milk this thing for all it's worth. The left. And you know that. I mean, they're going to try to make this into Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad by the time they're done with this thing. So he's just got to stay firm and get him out of here.
Well, and the sad truth is that all of the mainstream media has to be celebrating their asses off because now they have Trump back that they could scream at for 4 years. It's the best thing possible for their ratings.
I mean, Newsom basically announced his campaign. By the way, I believe that Kamala Harris will run for governor, replacing Newsom in the governor's space because he is going to run for the presidency. Literally announced it yesterday he's going to fortify the state of California against Trump, and he's out. He's got a year left. Then he was announcing that he's running. Which Biden, now Pelosi says Biden got out too soon, which is an interesting plot twist, having an argument with Donna Brazil at Howard University there behind the stage. But I believe that Kamala Harris will, like Richard Nixon, run for governor of California.
Wow. I mean,
he has no way to go. I mean, if you think it's not crazy, it's not a crazy prediction. What is this woman going to do? She's not that old. She's 59, 60 years of age. She can't go back to the Senate. That's gone. She can't do a vice president. The president, that's gone. She's got campaign debts to pay off of something like $24 million.
Yeah, I love that after $1 billion, you come out in debt.
Well, Rich believes that is what happens in a campaign that is cocksure they're going to win. They overspend even more. Okay, but who cares about that? In 1960, when Nixon lost to JFK, in 1962, he went back to California to run for governor. He lost the governorship and then came back in 68 to run for president, which he did. I think the only option for Kamala Harris, this thing with the Supreme Court is never going to happen. That's insane. The only option for her is to run for governor of California. She was the attorney general. She was a senator from the state of California. She can easily be the governor of California.
I'm going to laugh my ass off if this is true. Groubert, FYI, Viva's daughter's
both nights. It's nice try, but it's both nights, shitface. It's both nights. Nice try. Thought you had me there, didn't you?
That's too funny. Oh, yeah. You know what makes me... this all makes me happy. Speaking of Elon Musk, saw this on it, and it's true. Elon is making some bank off this. $15 billion in a day.
That's good.
Added to it, and think of the influence he has now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that goes without saying, of course.
I mean,
you bet on black. You always bet on black, and you win. You deserve the results. I mean, he stuck his neck out for this guy,
and he did. I mean,
and he physically campaigned for him around the country.
Oh yeah. I
mean, he deserves everything he gets.
Somebody was claiming that Joe Rogan claimed that Elon had an app that told him Trump won 4 hours prior. And apparently he saw that and he was like, he's got it, and then walked up, which I do think is possible. That if he could look at certain numbers that are going, at a micro level, especially if he's connected to internal polling, which we did not have, that would be very interesting. I saw something about Pod Save America, a clip where they were talking about how Biden.
Which one is that? A leftist one, or?
Oh yeah. It's like the former Obama People's Podcast.
Oh right. Yeah.
I guess there's an internal poll after the debate that Trump would win with 400 electoral votes.
Interesting.
Anyway, they broke it down. I'll have to see if I can find that. But in the interim, let's go through some super chats here. We got
whatever you like.
World of Games saying 2024 ZAG 2028.
What's ZAG?
I don't know what ZAG is, but
okay.
Be interesting.
Zelensky and Groubert.
Oh, there you go. That's a good pairing.
Yeah.
Pamela Clifton, happy Friday, guys. I am a happy Christian American Texan because of President Donald John Trump winning this Tuesday. I'm so happy for him. Yes, and Bobby Kennedy's there with him.
She's a cat lady. Christian American Texan cat.
Apparently.
You see how that works, Hunley?
That's what that really means. I did not know that.
Yeah, she's a cat lady.
I guess I took it literally. Just
no, Christian American Texan cat lady.
All right, well, talking about coming in hot here. Dick Dickerson came in 50 America's
Untold Stories memberships. Let me write this down. Dickerson, 50 memberships. Okay, Dickerson.
You probably need to because there's other people who are going to get on the board.
What?
Oh, yeah. But Dickerson, Dick, thank you very much. It's incredibly generous and great time to celebrate. And by the way, those of you who do get the new memberships, I added some new emoticons for the members today, where you now have a Bobby Kennedy, an Elon Musk, a Tulsi Gabbard, and a JD Vance. You know,
Emoticon, what people don't know, is in San Diego every year, right after Comic-Con, a week later.
Yes, it's for all the millennials to cry and emote in a safe space. Also, it's little symbols that are on YouTube. So all the members, check them out. Have fun with them. I'll probably be retiring the Kamala Harris emoticon, and it'll go into obscurity, kind of like her. Pat Handy with a super sticker. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's Trump vows close. Yeah, he vows. Vow is depends what you got down there. You can vow all you want. You got to get in.
I bet just do it. Just declassify.
Yeah, no, who cares about the vowing?
Yeah, that and hearing Pompeo in the mix is like, oh my God. I mean,
never let Pompeo and RFK Jr. fight to the death in the attic.
We need to get with Jim DiEugenio's people on that. He's got the lawyers who are suing over them, and
well, he's suing Biden, but they're leaving in 5 minutes, so I guess he'll have to start over again.
Yeah. Pat Handy with a super sticker. Oh, speaking of Biden, okay. His speech yesterday was the most coherent speech I have seen him make in 4 years.
Weird.
And I watching that. Did you see it?
No, I saw clips. I didn't see the whole speech.
Okay, well, even a clip, dude. Have you seen him make it through a sentence?
No.
I haven't.
No.
The clips, well, because I didn't watch it, but I watched like a good 3-minute clip or whatever, and it was coherent. There was no thrown words, nothing. And I couldn't help but wonder, I'm like, is this another Fetterman?
Well, I don't know, but even Fetterman went after the I think there was something like 67,000 people who voted for the Green Party. He called them pieces of shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's not a smart move when they're in your own state, you know, Green Party or no Green Party.
Well, it was kind of embarrassing because there were areas that I think Stein actually outperformed Kamala. So Kamala's like number 3 in some cities.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, seeing Biden though, I mean, he looked happy, he looked refreshed, and he looked
he's about out the door, and he's picking out mortuaries, you know, with his wife, which is
that's true. And ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah.
Charlie Don't Surf. Great to meet you in Boca. Great to meet you. That was really cool. I mean, really a lot of amazing.
Yeah, it was a good space.
People.
The food was great. We had the bar outside. I mean, it was just a perfect setup for us. I don't know if it's for anybody else, but the way we roll, it was perfect.
Yeah. Had some sound glitches and things like that early on, but it settled down. I do want to put out, for whatever reason, I'm not completely surprised that locals crashed, but on the stream, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through, 3/4 through, the locals died. I think that locals probably got swamped because everybody was streaming on Tuesday. And I'm sure that it was probably a server issue, nothing we could do. And, I'll talk about that part later, but
yeah, there's nothing we could do about that. But
we
did have Dr. Drew on. We did have these guests that we promised would be on, and Viva did show up and sat in between us like a little boy. And that was kind of fun.
Yeah, well, it was a comment that I guess I was sitting low and he was sitting high because we were equal level in the chair. So
well, we put those 2 phone books underneath them. Which
that's what it was.
That was helpful.
Yeah. Very, very. All right, Pew Pew with 20 America's Untold Stories memberships. But hold on. Pew Pew with 20 more America's Untold Stories memberships. Pew Pew's up to 40 already. Thank you very much. And I think I saw some. Oh, hey, we've got some new people here.
Blitzen. Well, that's because
Blitzen
of the
gifted 10 America's Untold
Stories. The people who
memberships.
abandoned that other guy's Pac-Man's YouTube channel. Now it's ours is going to go through the roof because they can't stay on his leftist YouTube. They're going to come over here.
You know what? I've seen some really interesting signs on that. Nate actually mentioned how he sent a video to somebody about January 6th. He's saying, they were saying, to just tell me it's not an insurrection. You prove that to me, blah, blah. And he sent a video that he had done, showing how it was a security breakdown, how they knew the day before, all that stuff. And the person's like, holy shit. And it was a leftist. So they're so angry now that all of a sudden they're sort of paying attention to what's going on. I saw somebody sharing another tweet. I don't know if it's real, but it showed, of course, the voting lines of how many votes were each side in 2012, 2016, 2020.
Yeah.
And then back at 2024, and people are saying to say, maybe something did happen.
Well, there's no other way to explain it, Eric.
Votes.
It was like 66 for Obama, then 68 for Obama, or vice versa.
Right.
And then another 81, then 81 million, or 68 for Clinton, right? It was Obama,
right.
Clinton, then Biden.
Then 2020, Trump broke all the records with 71 million, only to have Biden come up with 81. And everybody's going, oh, so there's literally 20 million extra votes in 2020.
Biden, and she got 66 or 69 million this year. So for some reason, somewhere on the planet Earth, there were 20 million additional or 13 million additional, 14 million additional Biden voters that were either killed or transported back to another galaxy, who did not show up in any Democratic election or her election right now. Just this one election, 20 million extra Democrats showed up. Okay.
And sure, some of it can be explained that they made it so easy by giving the ballots at home and all that, but that's only going to account for a few million, maybe. I mean, there's some math problems in here.
Yeah,
there's some real math.
Well, I mean, think about the freight cost of shipping those things around the country to shore up those winds. I mean, trucks backing into places in the middle of the night. I mean, all those different the physics of it, because it's not electronic. This is the mail-in paper ballots that weigh whatever they weigh, a quarter of a pound each or an eighth of a pound. Think about another 20 million of those, how much that weighs.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like there have been robberies stopped. They literally had one stopped because the weight of the money was too damn much for the guy to get away. They couldn't carry it all. And this isn't that different. I mean, a ballot.
By the way, I think gas prices went up 14 cents 2 days after the election. If anybody notices that, let me know.
No. Okay.
I got a feeling that they turned off the spigot, the Biden administration, from the National Reserve, because right over here, I saw literally overnight a 13-cent increase per gallon. The gas was like $2.98, and it went from $2.98 to $3.16 overnight. And I went, that's like 18 cents. That's crazy. Of course, it's 6:39 where I live, so I just stand in front of the sign all day, just laughing,
taking pictures, selfies.
Yeah, I just people come by. I fill up their cars for free when I have some moments. It's right down the street here.
Of course, we have a European audience, and they're like, yeah, well, we pay that by liter.
Right, but you don't have to drive anywhere. I mean, you've got trains to go places. We have to drive everywhere.
Oh, somebody's saying Scarborough of all things. He just found out about inflation and groceries after the election. It was hilarious because somebody was saying, well, people are, tired of paying $3 and change for butter versus $1.50 like it normally is or should be. And then Mika goes, it's $7 for butter. And finally Scarborough was like, what?
Yeah.
$7. What did they make it out of gold? No, it was so hilarious looking at his face, suddenly seeing, oh my God, inflation's real.
I just remember a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, seeing that little tiny plastic tub of Oscar Mayer sliced turkey. Oh, it was in a Smart and Final. It was $11.50 for that little thing of turkey in a Oscar Mayer plastic tub. And I went, holy crap, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
But I think once the gas prices, the real gas prices come down, not this national reserve prices, I think you're going to see a plummeting of the food prices immediately.
well, especially if the Middle East stabilizes, that's going to drive everything down. I mean, a lot of things, but I mean, Biden right now, of course, he's going to be like, no, I'm going to take off any controls. Watch the immigration suddenly go to shit for the next couple of months too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh, hey, open the doors, let them all in. Hey, come on down here, show them the way.
I think we got to get all those snipers that have podcasts and put them down in Galveston, let them do some good. Let them line up on a ridge up there instead of doing a podcast all day.
Yeah, good idea. Paul Henreid, Obama's fourth term failed.
Oh, that dark news.
Well, somebody pointed that out so beautifully, and it's true that Trump ran against the deep state, Obama's organization, the entire Democratic organization, the entire mainstream press. I mean, everything at the same time, and still won.
You know what's ironic? If they didn't steal it from him in 2020, it would have been over by now.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that funny? They could have had her running against J.D. Vance conceivably.
What's actually kind of cool though, because think about it. Because of this, he could say he's been president twice. Mm-hmm. And he's also, and I do kind of like it, he's going to throw a party for the 250th anniversary. And I'm like, oh, this is the right president to have. I mean, last one was Ford, for God's sake.
Yeah, remember the tall ships of 1976? That was the one I recall, hitchhiking out of the city and leaving that decrepit, failing urban metropolis there and getting the hell out in 1976, while the tall ships were coming into New York Harbor.
Interesting, symbolic gesture. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that the 250th can be a bang, and having Trump there, somebody who is actually patriotic, who actually does love the country, isn't rubbing our nose in it, saying we're shameful and horrible and just bad people.
Oh, they would have ignored it. They would have ignored it.
Either way, Nick Giusti. I don't know how to say it. I have a confession. Yesterday, I watched hours and hours of liberals freaking out, crying, and having meltdowns. I enjoyed every minute of it. Give me all the liberal tears. Look at the profile picture. Oh, okay. It's the liberal tears cup. Is that the Daily Wire liberal tears cup? Mm-hmm. Probably. I can't quite read it, but it looks like that. Dick Dickerson said, Rob Reiner said he would self-immolate if Trump won. Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, he did say that. And I think Bette Midler said she would drink Drano if Trump won.
Oh, that's right. Champagne or Drano.
Right.
The options.
Yeah. We haven't heard from her in 3 days.
What was it? Oh, God. Somebody shared a post that Barbara Streisand said, there are no words. And they replied back. They said,
yes,
there's approximately 2 million such and such words in the English language. There are now, and then they subtracted the 4 words she said left for you. It's just like, Elwood Bryant, these are the same celebrities that threatened to leave 20 years ago when W was sworn in. True.
Maybe some of them left. Maybe they came back. Maybe they come and go. Maybe they have 2 or 3 homes, which is probably the reason.
No, I'm sure, but I'm sure some of, but a lot of it's just they're mouthing off like idiots.
Yeah, this guy Trudeau up in Canada has called for an emergency session to deal with Trump's election. I guess they're expecting Trump to invade Canada, which is I'm recommending. I'm recommending that we begin to install gunboat diplomacy against the UK or in favor of the UK, and the same thing with Canada and Australia. Gunboat diplomacy can be multifaceted, Eric.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be just battleships. I think we should squeeze them, and first you got to take care of the Iranians and squeeze them financially and make sure they're bankrupt. But then you have to do a smaller version of it, I believe, to Canada, UK, and to Australia. Details will emerge as the year goes on, and I dig into this a little bit more.
Could be. I mean, honestly, Canada's taking care of itself.
Really?
Oh, I mean, Trudeau's on his way out. I mean,
he didn't look like he was leaving today.
Well, he's not leaving, but next election, he's gone.
They keep saying that, but he's still running this dictatorship up there.
Well, Biden was still here.
Mhm.
Actually, Biden's still here. So I'm just saying he's on his way out. I didn't say it's tomorrow, but it appears he's on his way out. Who knows? Maybe he's got another lifeline. The guy pulled a fast one when he did, dissolve the government and then and won that quick election. He extended himself.
Yeah,
4 years.
It's a parliamentary system. There's a lot of tricks up there.
I don't know. I don't see him doing that this year though, because I think it would hasten things. And the good news is that his sidekick, I forgot the guy's name, the one who likes the watches and the beard, whatever, Jagmeet or whatever.
I know.
Apparently,
it's a foreign country to me.
He's the least popular guy in his own party right now too, so he doesn't have the power.
Oh, the guy from 7-Eleven you're talking about?
Yeah, somewhere like that. He's going back to work at 7-Eleven, I guess. Raleigh to
White House Bear Wrangler. That's funny.
I like that.
That's funny.
Grandpa with a $10 super sticker. Thank you very much.
What jobs are these people going to get?
Oh, Hochul and James shared the press conference. Interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So
Yeah,
they save money and add it together.
So
up in Albany, or where did she go? It must have been in New York.
Yeah, it's Albany, I'm sure. All right, pew pew. 20 more America's Untold Stories memberships, but Dick Dickerson's not laying down. 20 more from Dick. So that's 70 from Dick on this show. And thank you guys very much. I mean, both of you. We play it out like it's a competition, but thank you. And by the way, thank you for hanging out with us here and supporting the show like you do. It really means a lot, and it means a lot. As Mark said, getting to meet people in person again, and seeing old friends too. We're seeing new people, and then we're seeing old friends like Al Gonzalez, Alan Wolford.
Dude, one guy gave me sand from Normandy Beach. I mean,
yeah, he gave me sand too. By the way, get ready to be harassed at the airport from pack it in your main luggage.
Because I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Well, no.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that's my dog.
Yeah, okay. I had it in my backpack.
I'm going to put Fido on the label. I'm going to say it's my dog, and he's got to travel with me and just start sobbing.
Okay. Again, TSA, yeah. Pulled me aside, searching my bags because of the sand in the damn bag.
Oh, you already went through it.
Yeah, I'm home. Mm-hmm. But it was fun. Anyway, Mark should be one of Trump's advisors, and when he does, I want to see that shit on pay-per-view.
Yeah, Charlie, I mean, if selected, I will serve. If asked, I will do whatever he wants. The point of the matter is we can't go through this again with these crazy picks by him. And we look, I mean, if we can't criticize him, nobody can. But the point of the matter is he's not Jesus, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I know. And hopefully we don't have everybody arguing with us every time saying, no, he can't do any wrong. Because if you do that, then it's kind of ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
That curious idea. Arizona Independent here. Carrie is why we don't want her. Carrie. Okay, Carrie is shit. Why we didn't want her in 2022 and now in 2024. No conspiracy. I mean, granted, Carrie Lake is not as popular as Trump. I think that there are people that might find her to be strident and that works against her, but who's she running?
She's running against a socialist drug cartel.
I know, and people are okay with
she's not running against RFK. I mean,
I agree, and I don't know. It's Scott Biddle. Mark, they're going to say you're going to pardon January 6th or so. We will drop the charges on you. I agree. It's totally BS. The felonies have to be removed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Of course.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. Anyone who actually did smash their way in, there were a few people who were violent. Some of them Antifa, they should be locked up, or if they've served enough time, let it be done, commute the sentence and move on.
How about putting Ray Epps under oath and saying that we're going to prosecute you for January 6th? How about that idea? How about taking that piece of shit FBI director, Link Ray's father, and getting that guy to A, resign, and then B, say you're under oath and we want to know everything that happened.
I was going to say, list every agent who was there.
He can list every agent, but if he doesn't respond, then put him in jail.
Yeah, with his boss, Merrick Garland.
separate cells. Even the Menendez brothers had separate cells.
Well, I didn't say they couldn't have separate cells, but they both could be in.
You got to go after that tall one, Comey. That's another one who's got to be prosecuted for crimes against humanity.
Yeah, he might pass the statute of limitations by now, though. Excidius, keep Karine Jean-Pierre as press secretary and make her defend Trump every day to her liberal press buddies.
That's funny. Well,
that would actually be fun.
Alex Jones is making a move to be press secretary. That would be more fun.
I can't help but think that's a troll.
Whatever. I would take it. I don't care about that job. Let him do it. Who cares?
No, I mean, it would be the most amazing troll in the world if Trump actually.
I mean, they're not getting in there anyway. These people think they're going to be sitting in the front row. They got something else coming to them. That's absurd. I mean, I just want to see James Rosen and then a bunch of other guys in the front row, and they earned it.
Well, you know what the funny part would be too, like even if he had Alex Jones for a week or something, it would definitely be worth it just as a stunt. All right, Pamela Clifton with it. Looks like the emojis. Yeah, Trump, come on, Bobby, U.S. flag, RFK Jr., Elon Musk, Tulsi, Vivek, and J.D. Vance. StreamYard doesn't pull the images; it only pulls the names of the files. Yeah, Thomas Whidden still likes the picture of your brain on the wall.
Yeah, it's very, very lifelike.
And Dr. Evil 814 pointed something out that after years of trying, we finally hit 117,000.
You know what? We should give them back 17,000 and tell them to go fuck themselves. How about that? Tell them we want to stay at 100, and no matter what you do, we're not going to change that number. We're just going to use reverse psychology on them, Eric. Then their heads will spin, and they go, holy shit, they're really fucking us on this number here. We better increase it. Just tell them we're sticking at 100, nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll.
Hey, maybe the people who are fed up with Pac-Man will come over.
Some might. I mean, it'll be interesting.
Right, for Disney.
JS. So, how do you think the request to Biden for immunity will go? He may say no to everyone but Hunter. That may force him into 25 armed him to protect their team. The 25th Amendment.
I don't know why Trump has to pardon Hunter Biden. Why can't his own father do it?
Because
why is that even an idea? Why is that even being kicked around?
I don't know. I mean,
why can't his dad pardon him?
Well, you know what Biden could do right now and save a whole lot of time is just pardon Trump on everything. I call it
right. No, but I'm saying he will, regardless of what people say, which every president does when they're on their way out, they will pardon a lot of people.
Sure.
And he's going to have a list, and he'll pardon whoever he's going to pardon. I mean, if he leaves off his kid, right, let the kid go to jail. Who gives a shit? Like, what do we care if his kid goes to jail?
Well, I mean, I have a weird theory that, Biden, I do think was sabotaging Kamala Harris. And
okay,
I would not be surprised if Trump has a backdoor deal that he's going to pardon Hunter. Because Biden promised. He's like, I will not do it. I won't do it. Because for whatever reason, he promised he wouldn't do it. He's trying to not look like the criminal he is.
But who gives a shit? Like, why would anybody care?
I don't know.
I mean, if he didn't pardon his own son, I mean, nobody's going to hold that against him. If he pardoned his own son, nobody's going to give a shit. He's going to be dead within a year anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm just I could anyway. Brad Pitless with $10. Thank you very much. And then Brad Pitless with $10 in the question. I might have forgotten the question before, but thank you for the extra $10.
Yeah, no, Brad, I think that's where this is going. I think it's going the same way in Michigan. I think they're going to try to contest it in Pennsylvania, and they're obviously contesting it in Arizona, the Senate races. But yeah, definitely the California congressional races for sure. Absolutely.
All right, and the question for those listening is, will they cheat the Republicans out of the House in California with mail-in ballots?
Oh, right. Okay, that's what I was just referring to.
Pat's Forever. Delve into the Hermit of Laredo regarding Trump and the presidency. I don't know what that is. Are you familiar with that?
I'd rather not get involved with that right now.
Oh. Okay. GG Evan 317.
Dark Brandon.
Do you guys Dark Brandon make an impact on election day? I mean, his wife showed up. Yeah, the red dress was kind of funny.
What is this? No, I didn't follow this. What was this?
Jill Biden, when she was voting, wore MAGA red.
Oh, all right.
And it was like, oh, a red dress.
I think people are reading too much into these Biden things, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you got screwed over as badly as he did, why not? Especially if you're a crime family and want revenge. I'm not your buddy guy. We here in Canada would welcome you as liberators,
That's
especially
right.
in Alberta.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
I know.
my plan. And I'm talking about sending in an expeditionary force and then a research force and then maybe snipers and then maybe a explosives team. Obviously, some intel group has to go in first to see the lay of the land. But yeah, they must be free. These are our northern neighbors, our cousins, and the same thing with the UK. I think we need to apply economic pressure to both those countries to get them to buckle.
All right, there's a Rumble rant here for $20. I already know the answer to this one, and it's no, but love the content, guys. Have y'all considered talking about the attack on the USS Liberty in the Mediterranean? No, probably
No.
not. And Rumble rant, $5. AM Drum 12, great time meeting you guys in Boca. Especially appreciate Mark taking the time to talk about some issues concerning my son. I made it much to the end, a long drive back to Georgia the next day.
Yeah, that's right.
And okay, back to the super chats. Tambra Nicole Kendall, appreciate you all do. Waving hello from Texas. First time sending a super chat. Well,
You can do it. No one's going to
Thank
stop you. Go crazy. Your husband's sleeping. Send all the super chats you want. He's cacked out in the garage.
By the way, don't you love that was one of the strategies? They ran that damn commercial showing women sneaking by their husband.
That was so stupidest idea.
Oh my God.
For people who didn't see it, it was about sneaking around your husband to vote for Kamala Harris. Really, really dark.
And just so deceptive. It's like,
So
this is what you are.
But I
You're
think
liars.
also that's who they are.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
And it's just like, oh my God. God, that was insulting. Joseph K's a new member. Thank you. Packard Jack. What's your prediction for Vance's VP in 4 years?
Vance's VP in 4 years. Who he's going to pick?
Yeah. I mean, it's 4 years away. God only knows.
Dude, I can't pick 4 weeks away.
Yeah. I don't even want to speculate on that one. Do you think Vivek Ramaswamy might get Vance's seat? I know he's lobbying for it. I'm asking you, DeWine.
No, DeWine's going to pick a non-MAGA person, in my humble opinion.
I'm sure. I think so too, but I didn't know if Trump might try to strong arm him into it or something.
It would be nice. I mean, if pressure was brought to bear on DeWine to pick a MAGA candidate for that spot. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think DeWine is so deep stated that he's got a list of people who are literally buying the seat in the same way that the seat was bought out of Chicago, out of Illinois, back in the Obama days. And they're not really bought. It's just a question of favoritism and cronyism and that level of stuff. It's not like Obama was saying that, what's his name, who's a Trumpocrat. Blagojevich, who was on Newsmax last night talking about being a Trumpocrat. I thought that was an interesting phrase. And,
okay. I'm sure he is.
No, he definitely is. I mean, he owes Trump his life, and he said it. He had a lot of gratitude for Donald Trump. That being said, Obama was the one who did this to him, and that was the first time I had seen the incarceration procedures politically of the Obama people was with Blagojevich. And then Jesse Jackson Jr., literally the next month.
A mean operator, that's for sure. Sean Lucan, fabulous and fun election night show, guys. Great guest lineup, too. Thank you, Sean. And thank you for the
I wish they could be there physically, but it's almost an impossibility these days because of people having their own shows and having to make appearances elsewhere. I mean, we did the best we could in terms of online plus physical appearance.
Yeah, well, we got everybody except Alex Stein, who got double booked. Somehow he couldn't do it because he was locked in on the Blaze.
Yeah,
things.
and it was too late for. I meant to tell you. I don't know if I told you. Jeff Shepard was also scheduled to come on and talk about the Nixon election, but it just got too late for him. He's in his 80s and he had to go to bed. So I meant to tell you that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, potentially criminal Sean said, "Love Mark's shirt." Yes, that was. We each got one.
Yeah, we each got one.
Gift from Dustin Russell.
Yeah.
Making garbage great again, which I'd like to think we did.
Well, the test pattern shirt is great. That was already stolen from me by someone who's here in this house. Give me back my goddamn shirt.
I didn't get a test pattern shirt. Thank you very much, people.
I got a Jackie Robinson shirt too, which is really great.
Wow. All right. Grandpa gifted 10 America's Untold Stories memberships. Well, thank you, Grandpa.
He's out in the garage, Grandpa. His pacemaker keeps opening the door. They told me they were complaining that the pacemaker keeps opening the garage door, which is got to be rewired.
Okay. And Sean Lucan with 10 more America's Untold Stories memberships. Thank you, Sean, very much. John Wienig is a new member, which we appreciate.
He used to be on the Pac-Man thing, you know.
Andy Lauber, Trump 2024 is going to be way better than had he won stolen in 2020. 4 years to reflect, get things right, and bring the thunder to the left the next 4 years. Go hard against these criminals. Yeah, but don't hire them, please. Don't hire them.
I the amount of damage in that 4 years, I appreciate what you're saying, but the amount of damage that was done to the world and to the nation was incalculable. And that's why they took them out. I mean, the dead people who were involved in the Ukrainian-Russian situation, the people who have been incarcerated, tell Paul Manafort he can't get that time back. Tell Steve Bannon who can't get that time back. All these Trump people who are incarcerated, tell it to the head of the Trump organization who's still incarcerated, as far as I know, in Rikers Island. A lot of damage was done by him not being there, him not winning that election. So that seems like more of a philosophical idea than the physics of the damage that was actually done by taking him out.
True.
I mean, the dead. October 7th never would have happened. This is Trump saying this. The incursion into Ukraine never would have happened. There's hundreds of thousands of dead people simply because he was not president of the United States for the last 4 years.
Afghanistan.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Did.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Yeah. K-Dog, what's up with the white envelopes at Bush Senior funeral?
Who knows? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I love your $5, but you're the 60th person who's asked that. At the end of the day, to quote Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make?
There we go. That's it.
What difference does it make?
In Lingrel, is the mass exodus of subscription money from the lefties actually just dark money leaving since the election is over?
I don't know what that means. I think it's just fed up people.
I think it's people.
Yeah, it's political junkies who don't want to hear, for the time being. I mean, think about it. You going to watch Yankee highlights after they get trounced by the Dodgers? Probably not. I'm sure Yankee subscription tickets are down too for the season tickets. I mean,
And honestly, these people were essentially paying for copium.
Yeah.
The channels, and I think that's why there's a backlash. It's not that they were wrong, and it's not that they lost, it's that they lied.
Yeah.
I can't think of a right-wing channel like Barris. We've even said it's like, and we've always qualified. We said, if these polls are like they are and the errors are like they are, I think he's going to do it. But when you say I think and it's possible, but we're worried, that's not the same thing as saying, oh, she's got it. Don't worry. Everybody's lying to you. She's got it. She's got it. You're lying.
I had no idea even that night which way.
Yeah, we were nervous as hell. Mark, I could tell he was nervous next to me.
I was. I really was. I didn't know what was going to happen.
I mean,
I'm still stunned. To be frank with you, I still haven't it really hasn't sunk in yet. I don't think it's going to sink in until he puts his hand on that Bible.
January 21st, when he's reporting to work.
Yeah, to be perfectly frank, it hasn't sunk in, and I don't think it's going to sink in until he's sworn in.
Yeah, because it's been so hard fought. I feel like we're
Well, keep in mind, it used to be In the old days, you weren't put into office until March. Never mind January 20th. It was March 20th. And there was so much chicanery going on by the president-elect and the current presidents that they shortened it to January 20th. That's how we got to January 20th. I'm still predicting chicanery between November 20th and January 20th. So God knows what they've got up their sleeve. They're just not going to turn off the lights and leave. You know, remember famously when Gore versus Bush, W. Bush, the Gore people took all the W keys out of the computer and they crazy glued the desk drawers
Well, the
together.
Clinton people did. I think Gore.
Well, Gore was still there, though.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it was a Clinton staff. But yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what these people have up their sleeve in terms of chicanery.
Yeah. I mean, we can only hope it's just that.
Yeah, I mean, him saying it's going to be a smooth transition does not make it so. He has said a lot of things, this old man.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the sweetest part is though having Kamala have to,
swear him in or something, or do that.
Certify the election.
Yeah,
She has to certify the election. That's
well, what's
nice.
Rankin going to do? Is he just not going to show up, Rankin, or is he just getting some more hair plugs?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's it's like you could talk out your ass, but they've already lost. I mean, if it's a Republican House and a Republican Senate, even though it's risky on the Republican House, the Democrats are holding out hope. I guess they keep saying, check the mail, check the mail, check the mail, because
also
it's narrow
in California. I mean, that's what's being done, as I explained on Viva's channel the other night. That's what this is for. There is 30 days to count the votes in California. And why do you need 30 days? So they could dig out 30,000 more ballots in different areas that they're filling out right now. I'm sorry, it just doesn't take 30 days to count congressional races within California.
Let's see, Andrew Ho with $20 Australian. You need to watch Millennial Millie YouTube episode, The Enemies Within. She did a doc in 2020 into the Sunrise Movement and has Zoom meetings with BLM plus government employees and others of their plans for January 6, 20 and what they are planning now.
Yeah, I think there'll be disruptions that whole week. I mean, and I also believe there'll be a massive march on Washington in the next month or so. They're still stunned, we're like seals that have been clubbed. They will regroup, and two things will happen. One, there'll be a mass rally somewhere, and
will it be pussy hats again?
They are going to have these blue bracelets are the new pussy hats, by the way.
Oh, okay.
There is a blue bracelet being designed for their mass formation meetup, and then there will be violence at the inauguration. Those are my two predictions. Putting them down right now on my list of predictions.
All right. Well, I hope you're wrong. Mark and I have a couple things that we are different on. I don't think Biden is going to make Harris president. I think he's going to ride it out and turn it over to Trump. Mark's still thinking that he'll give it.
Look, apparently I'm not alone. Did you see the articles I sent you? No, but I was when I said it. I was alone when I said it. And now there's a number of people either trying to make her president or Supreme Court judge, neither of which anybody saw months ago when I made these predictions.
Right. Well, I don't think there's any way she could be on the Supreme Court because I don't think it'll get through.
You don't think she would get through? I mean, it would have to be now. I mean, it's not going to be in January. It would have to be in December.
Swap her out for Sotomayor?
Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. The pressure campaign on Sotomayor right now, Eric, is enormous. Enormous. They're trying to get her to resign by the end of the week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
We'll see. That I could actually see being more possible.
Oh, so all of a sudden you're buckling. I'm sticking with my original.
No. I said he's not making her president. Don't try to change the game and say,
let's move the game. This is a new game that just came up.
Okay, well, that's a new game. And I'm the one who said forever ago that they were going to give the Supreme Court.
You're denouncing both games.
No. I said a while back that I thought they could give her the Supreme Court to get rid of her and clear her out of the way from Newsom. So Supreme Court's always been a possibility in my mind.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I don't think she's going to get that. But you know why? I don't think she wants to sit there the rest of her fucking life. You know, I don't think she wants to work. This is a chick who's been an affirmative action hire, who digs power, who digs office pillows, who digs having her wine with her friends. And I don't think she wants to do that job.
I'm good with that. I hate to say it. If people are stupid enough to pay her for speeches, and I don't have to deal with her.
I thought about that too.
But who wants it?
She can't give a speech. That's what I'm saying. Think about who you're hiring. She can't really do that either.
You can read a teleprompter.
No, I don't know about that, bro. Somebody would have to write it. Somebody would have to write that.
Of course, but yeah, there you go. Here,
who is that person? Who is that person?
I mean, you could hire any half competent writer.
I'm going to put it on the list right now. It's not going to happen. Put it on the list.
I don't think she's important enough for it to happen. I feel like she's going to be McGovern or Mondale and just in the wilderness. I don't know. Whatever happened to them? It was like never to be heard from again. Like Dan Quayle. Where's Dan?
Dukakis.
Huh? Dukakis, yeah, another good one. I'm going to be fair on both sides. Gore's the only one who popped his head up with this goofy ass climate thing that he did. But even he, he's on some corporate boards. But I haven't even heard of him this year. That guy hasn't even been rolled out to campaign. That was interesting.
Yeah. Well, he lives in Davos, and they have a different zip code. So we haven't
that's
heard
true.
from him.
That's true. Robert Tuttle is a new member. Thank you. And then coming in hot, Jim Buchanan with $100.
He's a descendant of President Buchanan. The Buchanan family in politics goes all the way back to the 1800s. Jim, well aware of his connection to the late president.
All right, fair enough. Dog Boy, I don't think he understands your Brooklyn humor. But Mark, you don't have to be such an arrogant dick when you answer a listener's question.
What?
Remember, Mark, you're only here because we're here. Just saying. Mark is playing with you.
Dude, I think you're on the wrong channel, bro. I think you're on the wrong channel.
He'll say things like fat asses and things, but that's a term of endearment with Mark in general.
I think the guy he thought he was on the Pac-Man channel.
I'm not your buddy guy. Mark Groubert, there's no telling what chicanery they may pull until January 20th.
Yeah.
I look over at the article about 40 monkeys.
I forgot to mention, thanks, buddy. I forgot to mention the 40 monkeys that escaped from the lab in South Carolina that are now in hot pursuit by South Carolinian authorities. These are monkeys that have been injected with something that have now escaped, rhesus monkeys that are now all through South Carolina. I don't want to be a real dick about it, but it's a real story. And somebody let those monkeys out. They're claiming the monkeys let themselves out. But apparently they had inside help, according to monkey.com, which is the website for people who follow American monkeys and things that happen monkey-wise. But yeah, that's a real story.
You know, we can make a joke about monkey.com and things like that, but
there probably is a monkey.com.
That probably is. Well, because I could not believe it. The plagiarism issues with Kamala Harris's book. The expert they called runs a site Plagiarism Today.
I know, that was weird. That was kind of
just weird. So it's kind of like, oh my God.
That was kind of weird. And she's been guilty of plagiarism. Biden is the king of plagiarism. I mean, it's astonishing the amount of plagiarism in this administration. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Davy Duke, the crazy screaming at the sky lady would be smart to do another screaming fit at Trump's second inauguration, but recorded herself on private property and copyright it.
You know what? He's making a joke, but it's not that far-fetched.
That's true. And
Dog Boy's back.
Yeah, Dog Boy's playing. I think he's been a member for 13 months.
Oh, I see, Dog Boy. So he still is, because of autism and other issues, still isn't really able to grasp the actual humor of the show. But he's hanging in for 13 months. It's starting to catch up.
I think he's not a Pac-Man person, but
I see.
But very, very cool.
Yeah.
Somebody said they gave the monkeys the Limitless drug.
That's funny. Remember Limitless? Wow, I forgot about that. Well, there's also 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt, which is
that any good?
Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that. All right. Let me see. Let me get another story or two. Oh, great. Leslie just sent me something.
Yeah, dinner's ready.
No. FYI, the Virginia State Corporation Commission has authorized Virginia National Guard to implement proposed new rates.
New rates?
Beginning January. Oh, Virginia Natural Gas.
Oh, natural gas. Did you say National Guard?
Well, I'm sorry, because I'm thinking of fortifying things and security, I guess. But anyway, sorry. Virginia Natural Gas to implement proposed new rates beginning January 1st, 2025. A typical residential heating customer using about 568 CCF a year can expect an average monthly bill increase of approximately $12.
Interesting.
So, well, hopefully it goes down after Trump gets in, but
well, he's going to have to do some drilling, and he's going to have to turn off some wars, and he's going to have to fill up some National Reserve tanks. I mean, there's a few moves that have to be made, but I think within a few months, I think he could stabilize this situation.
Yeah, but I think that there's so much going on that having a team around him absolutely would be important to have. Maybe because he can't have, there's just too much. They've done so much damage.
No, he's got to delegate. But he needs a delegator in chief of the delegation. I mean, he needs to delegate a guy to delegate.
Well, yeah, that's like a good chief of staff job.
Yeah. Well, this woman is not it. By the way, she's Pat Summerall's daughter. For people who know, Summerall used to play for the New York Giants and then became one of the great sportscasters of all time. But Pat Summerall was an alcoholic, then recovered, and he gives his daughter credit somehow for helping him recover from alcoholism. Not really sure what she did. Maybe she urged him to go to rehab or something.
I don't know. I mean,
this is his daughter.
Yeah, but I mean, family support. I could see where they could help. I mean, and give me your credit. Did you see this with Scaramucci?
I did. I didn't. I was reading it. I don't.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just watch this.
Coarseness to some of the rhetoric. There was some threatening suggestions to people related to being political adversaries and so on and so forth. And I hope we can put that rhetoric aside and we can move forward and think about what we're going to do as a country to unify the country and make the people in the country, particularly the lower and middle income people in the country, more prosperous.
The rhetoric got heated everywhere. You got pretty heated, Anthony, at times.
Look, Joe, how did I get heated? What did I say, Joe?
About Trump?
Yeah, what did I say? I said I repeated what he was saying. And I said this is wrong.
Anthony, come on, Joe. You have had an utter disdain for Trump. You'll always be welcome at the table of legacy media and have people nodding as you trash Trump. That's always going to happen. But aren't you the slightest bit embarrassed or at least humbled about how wrong you were about the feeling of most Americans, let me finish, and for enthusiastically supporting a candidate who a majority of people thought had no business being anywhere near the Oval Office? And you're a Republican, and you saw all the different policies that she was talking about are anathema to what you thought your whole life, and yet you went along with it. Do you ever eat any crow, or not even?
No,
even
never. He's a sociopath.
Like a little cape on, or you just? I mean, Michael Avenatti could still be on TV trashing Trump. You'll always find a place on TV. If he wasn't in prison, he'd still be on CNN running for president with Brian Stelter.
He's
just give me a little bit, Anthony, about how wrong you were.
Joe, first of all, I immediately put out a congratulatory tweet.
To my wife.
Lost, in the immortal words of Barry Diller when he lost the Paramount deal. Next, Joe, what would you like me to do? Do you want me to get on bended knee before you?
Yes.
I thought you were going to start that it's going to.
That's not even what America is about, Joe. We have a violent disagreement.
Look at Vivek just laugh.
He knows when to shut up. Let this guy bury himself, this piece of shit. Anthony Scaramucci. I mean, give me a break with this guy. You know, he's the Italian Adam Kinzinger.
Oh yeah. I thought you'd appreciate that because that Joe dude just thrashed him so perfectly.
Why is this guy still on TV, Scaramucci? What is his superpower?
he hates Trump and he's a Republican. So therefore, that's why he said that you're going to be welcome on any show all the time. It was so perfectly said.
Who weeps for Michael Cohen?
Who?
Michael Cohen.
Who?
Trump's lawyer.
Who?
Now, here's a guy who put all his eggs in one basket.
By the way, he's leaving the country. He had another
that.
identity supposedly, but was going to stay away from his family. I'm like,
in Romania, he's going to Romania, where he was rumored to have traveled to look for something under Trump. If you remember the story, some country in the Eastern Europe. He was supposedly.
Well, let me put it this way: he's talking about being separate from his family for their protection. And I'm like, no, it's for your side piece in Romania. Probably, he's not really running from Trump. He's running to a side piece.
Yeah, he's also fleeing the authorities that he promised he would take down Trump, and it might have been linked to his probation, for all we know.
It could be. I don't know, but this is the good Trump, and I really hope this goes through.
We'll get the resignations of every single senior official who touched the Afghanistan calamity to be on my desk at noon on Inauguration Day. You know, you have to fire people. You have to fire people when they do a bad job. We never fire anybody. You got to fire them. Like on The Apprentice, you fired, you did a lousy job. You did a terrible, terrible disservice to our country. You get fired when that happens. Nobody got fired. Nobody ever gets fired in this administration. It's amazing. All the bad things that have happened, nobody ever gets fired.
Looking for more than getting fired. He said the word fired 10 times.
Somebody, they always end up writing a book about you.
I think incarceration might be.
About me. I fire a lot of people when they don't do a good job.
Fair enough, but I also, back to our earlier statement. How about don't hire some of these people to begin?
Right? No. But I mean, these were people that were there already. He wasn't there with the Afghanistan debacle. But again, people want justice. They want revenge. They want incarceration. It's got to happen. You can't just fire people, bro. I'm sorry. Nobody gives a shit. We're way past that now. Too many people have been inflicted with pain. Too many people have been incarcerated on the other side. Too many people have had their lives destroyed by this administration and these deep state apparatchiks. There has got to be payback, not for revenge, but because to make it never happen again.
Wow. Oh, great. We had a troll on Rumble. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to have to get Rumble moderator somehow, I guess. I'll have to look into that. Well, no. There's certain people, and thank God it wasn't on YouTube, trolls that will do different things because somebody doing something in chat can get the channel taken down or can get it harmed. So they deliberately write really nasty stuff with the express purpose of screwing over creators. It's pretty disgusting, and very frustrating. JS, Mark, I loved your on point fat ass observation. Always the best.
Thanks, James. Thank you.
And Great Ghost wants to know, Mark, Eric, are you guys surprised that older actors like Harrison Ford and Schwarzenegger came out in support of Kamala?
No, in fact, if you don't, in Hollywood, they are suspect of you. I have friends who did not support her, who did not come out, and they just assuming that you are a Trump person. And then it's the volume of support. It's kind of like the clapping machine with Stalin. If you're not clapping long enough, who stops clapping first gets taken to the gulag.
Well, I mean, what do you expect from a son of a Nazi?
I don't expect anything less.
I just want to say, I mean, remember that whole F your rights? You put it on. Yeah. JS, how did monkeys escape SOE? Stole the keys, learned the door codes, used opposable thumbs, gained consciousness?
They're claiming the monkeys had inside help on the escape. People are now looking into it, but there's an all points bulletin out throughout South Carolina for the monkeys. So be on the lookout. If you're in South Carolina, I don't know exactly where. It's probably around one of those labs, but keep on the lookout for those monkeys.
Do you think PETA might be involved or that type?
No, I think these were experimental monkeys who had been inoculated with some sort of monkeypox, from what I understand, now on the loose. I don't think this is PETA's kind of thing. But who knows?
There are eco-terrorists who.
Yeah,
will
absolutely. Dude, absolutely. It's very possible.
So that's a hard one to know because it could be a biological attack. But
you don't know. You don't know.
WO said John Adams presided over the U.S. Senate as majority leader 200 years ago as vice president. J.D. Vance should be president of the Senate and become Senate majority leader, from Charlie Kirk and Mike Davis. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there's other people who could be. This guy out of Florida, Rick Scott, is apparently the favorite of people who are MAGA, from what I understand.
Yeah, and honestly, if the Republicans have a definitive majority in the Senate, then you don't need to have J.D. Vance do as much. He could be put on to other things like helping.
No, but
Trump.
I mean, this Thune and Cornyn, these Trump haters, it's just not going to go. And Thune told Trump to stay out of it. It's none of his business. I mean, it's like waving a red flag to a bull. I mean, stay out of it. What is this guy kidding me?
Yeah, that's
this piece of shit. I get
that's encouraging Trump to get in it. I mean, at least do the Mike Johnson and kiss his ass. I mean,
Johnson's a good ass kisser. These other guys, I think they can't wait to be the new McConnell for 35 years.
Well, I mean, it gets to their head. And that's part of the problem, I guess, with no term limits is they're acting like the deep state themselves. It's like we can be revoted in forever. We could be, senator for life.
Got two words for you, Mitt Romney. You want to tell me who in that red state woke up every day and said, this is the most conservative state in the country. We have to have Mitt Romney. I mean, it's insane.
Oh, yeah. That is crazy. I'm not your buddy guy. I know how you guys want accountability. I messaged Don Jr. on it yesterday, and it did sadden me a bit when he seemed to not be in full support of it.
Meaning what?
Well, Trump tends to forgive a lot. And it is the biggest irony in the world because they always talk about how, vindictive and terrible Trump is. Trump is actually one of the most soft-hearted people in a lot of ways. It's like everything they put on him, he's quite often the opposite. I mean, how many people did he let off the hook? How many people he pardoned? Part of the reason people are supporting him is look how many prisoners he pardoned, look Boyovich, other people. I mean, he tends to be a soft touch on some things.
Well, get Steve Bannon to be attorney general or some hatchet guy. If you don't have the stomach for it, get someone who does.
Right. And that's,
you want to be above the fray. I mean, look, Nixon had Pat Buchanan. He had John Mitchell. I mean, there were people within the Nixon administration. Nixon didn't have to do it.
Right. And use the military model on that one, actually, because what you'll find is that every commander will have their executive officer or their first sergeant, whatever. And those are the ass kickers. They're the ones who get it down. And then the commander could be the nice guy. All the time they can be the nice guy. It's like, well, I want this to happen. He tells them, they crack skulls until it happens. And that's
a good idea. It's a good idea.
Colleen, love your content. Cheers. Well, thank you, Colleen. We do deeply, deeply appreciate that. And going on to people we appreciate, we are going to be heading over to locals. And there we will continue the party. We've got to make up for a little bit of time there, too, because Tuesday got cut short. It does help us a great deal. If you become locals members, you can become members there for free. And if you really like it, you can even support us. There's added materials like the Oswald audio drama, which is underway, will be finished by November 22nd, which will put it for a perfect anniversary. Good timing on that. Might even be a few days earlier than that. I don't know, but definitely November 22nd. And we also put up books that are hard to find, documents that we find, PDFs of different things, etc. I have a grill stream there every Saturday, exclusive to locals people, just kind of a hangout, relaxed thing. But most of all, you can be a free member. If something happens, we get a strike, we get frozen for a week, anything can happen. This is YouTube, it's crazy. I can put out word there and you'll receive an email saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is where we are. And we deeply appreciate it. I know that Another option, if you guys want to support the show, this is also absolutely free. You don't even have to leave the screen. You could do it right here while you're watching us, right below, and you can hit that subscribe button. You've been here for over 2 hours, all the way to the end. I'm going to think you might like the show. If you're still hanging out with us, why not hit that subscribe button?
Yeah, I just want to say that Tuesday we're going to do some more news and push John Mitchell back. I want to get a guest on, and he's not available yet. So we're going to do, and plus there's too much shit anyway by Tuesday. So we're going to do another news episode on Tuesday and push it back to the following Tuesday.
Very cool. Very cool. So we will see everybody Tuesday. But for now, we are heading over to locals, so you can still keep hanging out with us. And I'll see you there.